purpose of this video is to show you how to make a bracelet on the Purl Loop Bracelet Loom using multiple different colored threads. We will start with a bracelet that's already been woven on the loom but still needs to be taken off. This bracelet was made using Kreinik metallic threads, and you can see that we used a lot of different colors and there's a lot of tails out there. You will remove the bracelet by pulling the loops off of the prongs of the bracelet loom. You'll pull all of the loops off on both sides. Once you are done removing all the loops off the prongs, you're going to lift the bracelet off of the loom. To eliminate the loops, begin by selecting one outside loop and take the inside strand and tug on it gently so that it pulls the opposite loop flush to the woven piece. It is important to do this step slowly because it's very difficult to correct this if you pull this loop too tightly. It is also easier to keep the piece stable if you use one hand to hold the woven piece in place. Here is a close-up of what this should look like when it's been pulled flush. On the side opposite of your flush loop, you're going to have a bigger loop now. To bring the opposite loop flush, gently pull on the loop string closest to your flush loop. Be mindful that your warp loops may get tangled with your weft threads, so you'll have to do this carefully. Continue this process until all of your loops are flush with your woven bracelet, and you'll have two tails at the end. To weave in all of your tails going up and down your bracelet, thread a needle and weave it in at an angle. We recommend weaving in all of your tails on the same side, so you'll end up with a good side and a not so good side. We only wove our tails in about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. The next step is to trim the excess thread as close as possible to the woven bracelet. Repeat this process for the entire bracelet, and note that if you have a lot of tails, you're going to have a lot of weaving in, and it can bunch up in the back of the bracelet. Next, we're going to attach our hardware, and this is also known as jewelry findings. We have 2 1-inch ribbon crimp ends, 4 jump rings, and a lobster clasp, and we're using jewelry pliers. Gently squeeze the ribbon crimp ends with your pliers onto the ends of your bracelet. Use your jewelry pliers to open up the jump rings and attach 1 jump ring into the end of each ribbon crimp end. You can use 1 jump ring or as many as you want to make your bracelet longer. Attaching the jump rings with jewelry pliers can be tricky. This does require patience and practice, and as you can see in this video, it was a bit challenging for us as well. With patience and practice, it will get easier. Sometimes you can use a finger or 2 as well as a jewelry plier, or you need a jewelry plier in each hand in order to get control of the jump ring to close it properly. You want to make certain that your jump rings aren't too thick and can't fit into the opening of the lobster clasp. We hope this inspires you to get creative with all of your stash of threads and yarns and other materials to make loads of fun, colorful bracelets.